Welcome back, guys. It is getting so close today. Well, it's now Friday afternoon. I've had a mad morning running around picking stuff up. As you can see behind me there, that is tyres. So that's how you know your car's getting very close, when you are getting tyres sorted. So that's my new steer tyres. I ended up going with Nankang NS2Rs. I just went with them because a lot of people have recommended them, and especially people in the little wheel community, I suppose. A lot of people rate them pretty highly. Back when I used to drift, I ended up running a Federal 595 RS for steers. I found them to perform really well cold. They're a really good tyre, but I thought I'd try something different because I have not driven very much, to be honest. So I thought should probably try a few different things. But anyway, if I don't like the Nankangs, I'll probably end up going back to the Federals, but I thought I'd give them a red hot crack. So I've got them. I've also got a few other goodies. I've got my little Microtech dongle now, all that. So well on track to hopefully having the car ready driving by Sunday. But for now that I've got my dongle, I'm going to head over and help Adam out. He's got some wiring gremlins with his Cressida. So we're going to try and see if we can log on to his Microtech ECU and just try and see what it's doing, because he's just having some issues with it. So Friday, it's 1 o'clock at the moment, so I won't get back out to the workshop till probably 4 or 5. So today's a bit of a write-off, but I'll get stuck into it tonight still, get a bit done. And then, yeah, we've got Saturday, Sunday night, Rex will be home, he'll be able to help. So should be a, yeah, should still be, I reckon, yeah, probably Monday. Monday, hopefully have the car going, but let's see what we can do. But yeah, I also went to NZ and got my brake line made for my hydraulic handbrake, and also got my little package of stuff I ordered from RB Factory. So I've got my handbrake mount. So I've got everything to sort out my hydro now. I actually had a bit of a stuff around with silicon bends for my intake. So I've ended up having to just go and get some this morning from Cody at Repco, helping me out again. He's a lifesaver, he's been a lifesaver for this whole build. So it's been an expensive morning. I bought heaps of stuff to give the daily, this Falcon, some love as well once the Skyline's finished. So it's been a very expensive day. But yeah, once the Skyline's finished, I need to put a new diff in this Falcon because the diff is getting so noisy. Probably before I tow the Skyline anywhere, I'm gonna have to do the diff, and it needs a service. So, but I've still got next week off work as well at this stage anyway. So I'm hoping pretty much by the end of next week the Skyline will be ready to go, and the daily tow rig will be good to go as well, and I'll be ready and rearing. So I had a look last night. There's a Friday night drift on at QR on the 9th of August. So that's going to be hopefully the maiden voyage for the 31. A bit of a shakedown. Hopefully everything goes well. But yeah, that's the aim of the game. Have it ready, everything ready to go. Trailer it down to QR on the 9th of August.
No Diros.
So here we are. Problems.
Yeah.
So close yet so far.
So far, not so close.
Oh, heat shield, nice.
Yeah!
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, I need to make another one for this thing.
That thing.
The bit that doesn't need to be hot. Because that'll be good.
V-Rank, cool. So what this is doing is, with the fuel pump relay connected, Adam's pretty much got it all wired exactly the way the Microtech diagram shows it. But with the fuel pump relay connected, it sort of just, the relay keeps ticking like it's getting a bad earth or something, but I don't know, Adam's been through everything, it looks like everything's earth properly. You just powered up the ECU without the relay in it, just closed the circuit and everything's fine. So yeah, we're just going to try to put the relay back in and see what we can see, or what it's going to do anyway.
Yeah. Brand new relay too, just out of the box. Fresh, so.
Fresh. So it's still carrying on with the relay connected. Not too sure. But can connect, like will connect. So yeah, RX data's all over the shop. Doesn't let me do too much. Yeah.
What's this connecting? So it's like pulsing. So it's not like holding a consistent, like, current.
Yeah, it's not happy. I don't know what it's doing, but that's weird. I don't understand.
I did connect that to Earth once, but I thought that when I did that it just basically took the power away from that and just Earth that and then back to the car. I don't know, we could try it again, but when I was doing that was when it wigged out that time.
Yeah, well, we didn't get to the bottom of it, guys, but at least we've logged onto the ECU. We know the ECU is not the problem, so it's obviously just some sort of wiring. At the moment, where Adam has taken his his ignition power, not the constant, but the ignition power for the ECU and for core packs, is off an old ignition wire that you used to power the injectors. So for the 7M that was in it. So we're starting to think maybe there's some sort of modulated pulse width thing with the fucking I don't know. We don't know. But either way, it seems like the ECU is good, so Adam's just gonna have to try a few different wiring things.
Yeah.
Change his wiring out around a bit.
Yeah.
Try and get this bitch to work.
Also, you haven't seen it yet, have you?
What?
Have a look over there.
Oh. Oh, nice. Oh, that's nice. Oh. Oh, nice. Yes. Very cool.
That's a bit different.
Bit different. So yeah, Adam's decided to go new hot side. So yeah, we've got a few costs to sort out with this.
Yeah.
Updated costs.
But like, I'm gonna be getting rid of. I've got so much stuff to sell because I've bought so much shit that I don't fucking need because I'm a retard.
So Adam's decided to pretty much go entire new hot side now. Even that that gate that you saw us go and buy on the way to DCA, even that's not getting used anymore.
No, because it's small and it's for this manifold, and if I get another manifold, then I'm gonna need another gate.
So Adam's pretty much going to sell this manifold and the China turbo that he had and the 38mm wastegate that he bought and
the other gate.
And the other gate, which I'll probably buy off him. And he's going to use Kunagawa, and he's hopefully going to get himself a 6-boost and a new gate.
Yep.
So it's going to be a very expensive hot side now.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've gone to the effort of everything else. I'm like, why am I still wasting my time with a shitty piece of China crap? I'm sorry, Max, but I was just. It doesn't fit right. Show the viewers, mate. Show the viewers. Look at how fucking close it is there. Like.
Can I just point out that Kunagawa is also China?
Yeah, but fuck, it's it's better China, okay?
Yeah.
And
you're right.
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. Oh.
Like when the turbo sits on there, it literally just presses like against the fucking that's just shit. So I don't like it.
Fair enough.
Like it, I do not. So if I get a 6-boost, it'll be probably here, hopefully, and not there. Doing things where it shouldn't be. So.
Oh well, this car probably now owes Adam like 15k.
Oh, once we deduct all the other things that I no longer need, it won't be too bad.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh well, we'll do an update on this car soon. Anyway, for now I'm going to head back out to the workshop and keep working on my Skyline. Righto, finally made it out here. It's like 4:30, but still got all night, I suppose. So it's not all bad. These are my Nankangs. Nankang NS2R. So they look, I don't know, they look real racy and sticky. Hopefully they're not too bad cold. Hopefully they perform well cold, because as you all know, most of the time in drifting you spent waiting. So you really need to have tyres that perform well cold. Anyway, first and foremost, I'm going to run this thing again, get it hot again, and I've got some here. Nulon lifter free tune-up. So it's exactly what I need to free up the lifters. Yeah, look at that. Look at that crap. So I'll run some of this through it. Hopefully that is going to help sort that lifter out. Like I said, I'm sort of just going to run it like that until hopefully it frees up, and if it doesn't, well then I'll look at pulling them out. But yeah, get her all nice and hot again. Another run-in cycle. Alrighty, so I'm going to piece together some of my intake. I ended up getting blue bends because it's all I could get, it's all I had in stock. I'll probably one day eventually swap out all this blue stuff, including that elbow on the turbo. I'll probably end up swapping it all out for black eventually. And I would like to actually one day relocate a catch can over to that corner because it's low mount, and then run actual black braided with red fittings instead of the blue, and run on that side because this side of the engine bay is really busy and this side is not. But anyway, that's all future stuff at the moment. It's just a matter of getting it driving and going, so blue's gonna do. Oh. So I've got all these T-bolt clamps as well. That's just eBay special T-bolt clamps. Got this straight piece of alley 2.5, that's just eBay. Obviously the Raceworks elbows, got them from Cody today. And then for this side, I've got this 45-inch alley bend, and then another 45 silicon 2 3/4 to 2.5 inch bend. So that's for the actual throttle body, and then another 45. So that's how that side's going to go. Anyway, hopefully it works out pretty well. So I just built the one side of the intake and thought I'd start it and just sort of purge the intercooler a bit, and I'm pretty glad I did because there is hornet's nests all through it. So yeah, glad I did that. But yeah, I'm just going to actually pull this intercooler off and yeah, fill it full of water and clean it, because that is uncool. So glad I knew better with that. The mud wasps around here are insane. They get into everything. So lucky I decided to just check that out, because that could have been real ugly. Anyway, I've filled it up full of water and emptied it out. I've also just put on some little bits of high density foam where it was actually contacting the radiator support a little bit and just making a rattle. So that'll just get rid of that rattle, which would be nice. So you can go back on and I'll do the same thing, and I'll just try and blow all the water out this time. And hopefully no more of this crap. So I had to cut off both ends of the 45 just because it was too long, which means I've cut off both beads. So I'm not going to worry about it at this stage, simply because I have had the last intake that was on this car before was the same, where it didn't actually have any beads on it really. And I never had an issue. Actually, the only thing I ever really had issue was it popping off the throttle body. So I'm not going to worry about it at the moment, but if I do have issues with it popping off or popping the intake apart, I sort of have a bit of an idea of how I might be able to make a bit of a bead roller jig up for the press, so that you can press it and have it sort of crunch a bead into the end of the pipe and then roll it like a can opener. But I'm only going to bother doing that if it gives me problems, because I'm confident that it shouldn't for the boost pressures that I plan on running. Alrighty, so got most of the intake put together. So as you can see, out of the turbo into a 2 to 2.5 inch adapter, 2.5 inch straight into the 2.5 to 3 inch 90, into the cooler, and then another 3 inch and 2.5 inch 90 into a 45 inch 45 degree, and then a 45 degree 2.5 to 2 3/4 inch for the throttle body. So I couldn't actually get a T-bolt to work up here. I thought I'd be able to get a 3 inch to squish far enough, or alternatively get a 2.5 inch to open up enough to go 2 3/4. But literally neither option will work, so that's just gonna have to be a hose clamp for now, which isn't that bad, honestly. I've got nothing against hose clamps, they just don't look as pretty. But yeah, it runs good, sounds good. I think the flutter's gonna be good. It doesn't flutter that good at the moment with no intake on the turbo, but you can still hear it. But I think once I have an actual intake on the turbo and I get it loaded up, I think the flutter's gonna be pretty wild. Once there's something for that to echo in and it's actually loaded up, I think it's going to be pretty good. Anyway, this has all worked out quite well. These bends are way less savage than they were last time. The last time this car, I just had a 90 and it just went, the throttle body was on a similar angle, maybe a bit further down, and I just had straight into it, and it just, this bend was very savage and it wasn't very nice. So this intake setup's actually a lot better than it used to be honest. So yeah, again, just pretty stoked with everything about this car and how it's coming along. So just super glad that I decided to rebuild it. So no, I'm pretty happy. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna go on with next. So here we have the actual intake into the turbo. So these are just two stainless 45s, which I have obviously cut down to suit what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do was actually a bit more severe angles. I would have been better off with 60s, but I just goofed when I sort of thought about what I was going to do in my head. So this is what I'm going to do at the moment. I always had the pod just in this corner beforehand, and it was always fine. So if I ever want to, I figure I can actually probably put it down through the guard and put it down the bottom if I ever feel inclined, but for now this is going to work. The reason I went stainless over Ali is for only one reason, and that is because it sounds better when it doses. That is literally the only reason I went to stainless. Eventually one day I will weld this joint. This won't be a joiner forever. I will weld this so it's one piece, or alternatively I will get someone who is much better at TIG welding to weld it for me. And this is just a random pod filter that I had lying around, so it'll do for now. It's a Dorrieft pod filter. And I definitely need to do that up more on the turbo. So I will do that up more first. But then we will find out how it sounds when it doses through this intake. And then you can see my manifold's going pink. This is not actually the first time we've used that that paint and had them go pink before under heat. So we've done a few set of extractors that have gone that pink color. So anyway, that's just how it's going to be. Now I'll tighten this up and then start it and see how it's going to sound. All right, much better now. So let's see how it sounds. Pretty happy with how it looks, apart from the blue. Me and Dad were just joking before, it's actually funny how everything's turned out. Everything I could get and everything I had laying around. You know, I would have been better off just going with blue as the theme instead of red, because everything ended up being frickin' blue. Gonna turn that idle down a bit. Also seems to have a squeaky belt. I went a little bit too big on my belt size. I probably need to go about 10 mil smaller on my belts. So that's all right. Little teething issues, stuff I've got to sort out, but that's all right. See what the temp's like, see if it's still all right. Ah, yeah, 60 degrees, not too bad. Pretty happy with that. That's going to be cool, especially when it's loaded up. It's going to dose like crazy. It's going to be sick. Hell yeah! At the moment I'm just checking, I'm going to check now that I can connect to my ECU. I just want to check a fair few things on the loom. I just did like a ghetto adaptive plug for the temperature sender for the ECU, because where it sits you couldn't actually get the plug on because of where the fuel rail is. Also Lachlan, when he sent me this loom, did mention that he reckons it never actually connected, oh sorry, never actually had temperature properly. So here we are now. Let's see if what have we got? No water temp. Start it up and see. I have no idea what I'm doing, guys, also. No real idea what the hell I'm doing with this. But what I want to check, I just want to get everything working. I want to make sure my TPS is reading correctly. For now, anyway, is what I want to do. Because once I know the TPS is working, and once I know it's reading everything else properly, then I will be happy. Yeah, see how the TPS is reading 99. That ain't cool. Water temp is 0. That also ain't cool. So I need to try to sort those issues out. that's what I need to do. So it could be a few things. Could be bung wiring, it could be a bung TPS. So yeah, I guess I'll try another TPS first and go from there. Alright, well, good news, got the water temp to work. It seemed to be just the dicky clogged up contacts. So with a bit of a clean and a shuffle, they came up good. But still can't get that TPS to read properly. It's reading 99% load, which is probably not that good. Although I do recall, I'm pretty sure when I first got this thing tuned by Shane with this computer in it, when I had the old motor in it, it always had a problematic TPS. He had said it always read either 99 or 1, like on or off. So I'm unsure whether it might actually be an issue with the ECU, or maybe, yeah, might be a wiring thing in the car. There are 3 pins on the TPS, 2 of them go back to the ECU, 1 of them goes back to the body loom, something on the car. Not actually sure what it goes back to. But what I may actually do is, because I've got Rex's TPS plugged in as well. That's the other thing, I tried the TPS off Rex's car, it's doing the same thing. So, could there be 2 dead TPSs? I don't know. I don't know if they're a commonly problematic TPS on the RB30 is a common thing. But I'm not sure. I suppose I can plug the other ECU in and just see what the TPS is doing on the other ECU. That's what I'll do now actually. I'm gonna check that. Alright, other ECU is doing the exact same thing. It's just showing that TPS at 99% load. So, yeah. I'm just gonna have to leave that and make some calls tomorrow. I was really hoping to get that right, because if that was right, I was gonna be pretty happy to start wrapping this loom up and finishing it off, but obviously until I'm sure, I'd rather not. I would rather have a working TPS, but yeah, like I was saying, I'm pretty sure that the TPS in this car has never actually really worked properly. What I should do is talk to Luke, and I suppose that won't matter actually, it won't mean anything, so yeah, I don't know what to do. I'll have to think about that one. In the meantime, there is something else I can go on with. I can go on with mounting my hydraulic handbrake, which is a bit more of a fun job, so might get onto that, because that's going to keep it ticking along, keep it moving. Alright, so I have here my hydro. This is the hydro that I got from Andorni. So yeah, it's pretty standard, just a hydraulic handbrake. All is well and good. Standalone, obviously. This is my braided brake line, which I got made up at NZ yesterday. So this should just be able to pretty much just bolt straight in. I just got a measurement before I left and got them made it up. I got a little bit of room to move at 2.6 meters. The rest of the stuff was just some stuff I ordered from RB Factory. This is my mount, my plate for hydraulic handbrake in the 31. Obviously, stuff like this, I think I've said this before. Like you can make something like this up. I could have made this, but it would have been one of those things where I made it out of scrap, which is it just would not be as nice. For the price of what RB Factory sell this stuff for, it's a lot easier for me to just buy it than it is to make it. Same with this, I bought a little, this is a brake master cylinder stopper. So obviously when you're jumping hard on the brakes, the firewall tends to flex. So this mounts off the strut tower and braces the brake master cylinder. So I don't know, that was a pretty cool little bit of kit that I thought I'd just buy as well, which again, it was cheap. So like I sort of had an idea of making a bit of this up out of some angle, but it's the same thing where it would have not been as nice, and for how long it would have taken me to make it, it would have been easy just to buy it, so I just bought it. So anyway, my plan is to just, yeah, mount that on there. It comes with all the hardware to do so as well, so that's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that. So I'll chuck handbrake on, I'll chuck this in the car, and then I want to try and get the trim back on as well. I also have to see where the standard handbrake is, because it's going to come up somewhere in this area as well. I'm hoping it doesn't interfere with anything. But yeah, I want to try and get the trim back on. That brown trim I've got, it's got some holes in it from screws and stuff that, like, it's not that nice. So I do want to put the car back on the street one day, but I'm pretty happy to cut that brown trim to fit the handbrake, because I do eventually want to get a TI center console, if I can find a brown TI center console with a lid. So if anyone's got one, please let me know. I'd be super keen on a brown TI center console. So at that point I'll try and get another trim, and obviously this stuff will all come out when it goes back on the street. So But yeah, for now I'm pretty happy just to cut that trim and try and get as much back in the car as I can to try and make it look nice. I want it to look kind of nice in there, so I'm just going to mount this up and then just put it in the car and see how it looks. Alright, so had to file out these back holes a little bit. This plate is made to fit most Chinese handbrakes. Pretty sure this is not a Chinese handbrake. Pretty sure this is something someone's made out of a trailer hydraulic brake master. But either way, just a quick file, got that to work. I cleaned everything up, some brake clean because it was all filthy, and I had to make up this bolt because it didn't have one in it. And obviously, you can't just put a bolt through that and do it up tight because it'll lock everything. So, lucky I had like this 100mm bolt lying around. So I just made it long enough to put 2 on it and lock it and leave it fairly loose so that it all still functions properly. And that should be happy days. So we'll get this in to the car and have a look at how it looks. Alright, so looks pretty good in the car. I massively misjudged where this handle is going to sit. It's literally against the dash, so I'm going to have to move this bolt because I've got a few different locations where I can mount that. But as you can see, it mounts right down there, handbrake's there, and my handbrake fails on it, which is a real pain. Hopefully when it's got a different seat in it, it won't be so bad. It's not too bad. Actually, it actually sort of just works its way past it. Just rubs on it. But that's alright. It's not too bad. Pretty nice fit though. A lot of my little bolt holes in this tunnel are stripped. But these M6 bolts are actually, they're long enough that you can get a nut on them. So I can get a nut on from the bottom, which might be a bit of a pain. It would be easy if I could get them on from here, but obviously when this goes on for the final time, I want to put the rubber boot on it. This is actually an auto rubber boot that Liam modified to suit a manual. And I traded him my actual manual boot for it back in the day, so that's why I've got that. But so that sort of goes on like so, and that'll go on there like that. So I won't actually be able to get a nut from the top, but I'll just try from the bottom. Hopefully it works out. Maybe I can get it from the top. I don't know. I'll see. I'll see what I can do. But either way, I definitely need to get some spanners and move this. It's got to come way back to like there. That's going to be better. That's not good. So that's a much better position for the handbrake now. I've never actually driven with an upright hydro though, so I'm interested to see if I'm going to like it or not, because I've always liked to put mine in the regular position so that it's more like a traditional handbrake. That's, if you go back look at my videos of when I used to drive, that's just how I used to like to have it. So this will be the sort of the first car I've driven with an upright one. So yeah, I suppose it'll be pretty cool. See how it goes, see how it works. So managed to get it fitting pretty good. Just cut out that little bit of the trim, so the boot and everything will still go back on, so that's fine. As you can see, this is what I was talking about, where this trim's actually been butchered before. It's got holes in it and stuff, so I wasn't too happy enough just to sort of cut this one up and then try and look for a mint one later on down the track. Hopefully I don't live to regret that decision, but it's gonna look nice. I reckon it's gonna look pretty cool in here when like the factory boot and everything's back on there. But yeah, no, that's cool. Alright, so next thing's going to be, now that that's cut and ready to go, it's going to be get the handbrake line in and then try and get nuts on what I want so that I can actually complete this trim, putting it all back in. Righto, so got most of it back in. I decided just to put this back in. This one's a bit stripped and this one's fully stripped, but these three down this side are all fine, and they're the ones that are really going to get reefed on, so I just decided to wing it because it's too hard to do on your own, try and get a nut underneath, so I'll just leave it for now, I think. But yeah, this boot's got a little tear in it. Actually, again, this is Liam's old boot. I swapped him my mint shifter boot before I sold the car to Luke, so another one of those things that ended up in Liam's car. But looks good with like all the center console in and the hydro. It's a tight squeeze, but everything does work. Handbrake just squeezes up past there. The line sort of just runs down underneath that, so yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, I've lost all the inserts for this, so what I'm going to do is use that rubber tape again and just build that up until I can screw that on. That's pretty much my plan there, so might do that, because then I've got a shift knob, which is, you know, handy. Well, that's pretty cool beans. I'm pretty happy with how that's turned out. Obviously still got to put my wheel and whatever seats I put it. Oh, I'm going to put them sparkos in it actually, so still got to put the seats in it and still got to put whatever wheel I decide to put in it. I'm thinking I'll probably put my GK Tech one back in it. That was the one that was in it before, although this time I won't use the quick release. Then there isn't really a quick release last time because I had a fix back in it. The Sparkos are reclinables; they're not fixed back. They don't have massive bolsters. That's going to be a lot easier to get in and out of than it was with the with the Bride rep. So Sparkos should be fine with no quick release. So it'll just be a deep dish. It's either put the GK Tech back in, or I've got some OMP reps and stuff up there I can have a look at. So and leave the GK Tech in the Cressi. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with how that's come along. So yeah, I'm going to put this Breakmaster stopper on from RB Factory as well. Righto, super easy to install, and as you can see, as that works, it just braces the master cylinder so that you don't get the firewall flex that you would get when you're stomping hard on the brakes. So pretty cool little bit of kit. Yeah, nice, very cool. So I actually reinstalled it with some Hot Boy red bolts. Pretty cool. Another little purchase I got off Wish. Just packs of these little red, yeah, dress up doobie China Land things that came from Wish for pretty much nothing. So I bought a heap of them. I'm gonna do all the guards as well, and I was really hoping I could do all those little Phillips bolts along the back garnished, but they're actually like a coarse thread screw thing. They're not actually just like an M6 bolt. So unfortunately can't do them, which is annoying, but yeah, well, you get that. So I might like go replace all these, ready to go, is what I might do right now. So there you go, nice and red. I reckon it'll make a fair bit of difference when it all comes together. I just can't wait to actually wrap this loom up. Once this loom gets wrapped up, it's going to tidy. This bay is going to look so much better than it does now. But anyway, I'm not going to go getting ahead of myself until I know everything works. Not doing that again. So, but anyway, these will look cool when they're actually all up the guards. Yeah, are going to be cool little. And I suppose it's just like China hardware. A lot of people don't like it. It's probably pretty shitty, but I reckon it looks cool. So whatever. Cool beans. Rightio, so that's going to be it for tonight, guys. It's too cold and late to bother doing anything else. I was going to finish that hydro line, but I'll do that in the morning because in this shed, the way the lights are, once you get a car off the ground, you can't really see underneath it. So I'll do it in the morning in the daylight. But it's been a good afternoon, way better than I thought it was going to be. I really thought after the day I had running around getting stuff and then helping Adam, how late I got here, I thought Friday was pretty much going to be a write-off, but I've ended up getting quite a bit done, like the entire intake. So that's not negligible at all. That's quite a big step forward, having all that done. And pretty happy with it, how it all turned out as well, even though literally just about everything's blue after all that. Literally almost every single thing is blue. So yeah, I don't know, I'm just going to see how it looks like when it's finished, because I don't know if I could be bothered literally changing everything out for black, but we'll find out anyway. Either way, it's all stuff that can happen later out of the track, but car is, you know, en route to be a really good thing. So I'm pretty stoked. Dose is sick. I love that. Looks good. Well, I think it looks good. There's probably a lot of people out there that think it looks disgusting, but I don't know, I kind of like it. Sort of like how the low mount setup has actually turned out. Definitely would be better off with 60-degree bends over 45s. Like even still, that's not quite on the turbo properly. It's hard to explain, but 45 is just not enough to get out of there at a good angle. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And yeah, thanks for watching.